to be honest and to be frank about this, who is it do you think would fill your shoes in the Senate? Who would fight for the president the way you're fighting for the president now that you're out of the Senate?
Marami. You know, si Senator Coco, iba lang ang kanyang style. Tapos si Majority Leader Soto, pagdating sa legislation, siya naman magpupush. Si Senator Ping and Senator Gordon can give fiery criticisms just like FBR, but they want this administration to succeed. Pagdating naman sa actual work, di ba, of course, nandyan, I mean sa legislative work, si Sen Mix was dating majority leader. Si Manny Pacquiao is showing na kahit neophyte na, ang dami niya na knock out. And I think he is really studying how to deal with national problems. Sherwin Gatchalian, Joel Villanueva. You know, it's, as I said, you gave me too much credit kasi I hold the microphone eh. So actually, the bigger challenge for me now is if politicians like microphones, diplomats, should not engage in microphone diplomacy eh. Kasi iba yung nag-implement ka ng strategy, iba yung nag-criticize or ano ka, no? So that's a bigger challenge for me, Edith. But the president is in good hands sa present Senate, and then we'll have an election in 2019. I will tell you that whether or not I was going to the executive, no? In fact, ako na nagsasabi parati sa ating Pangulo na yung leadership, no, wants to be with him, meet him, talk to him, and sort out, no? And makikita nyo kung ano ang effectivity ng lower house, ganun din naman sa Senate.
Sir. A few questions. First, dun sa presentation nyo during the Universal Periodic Review, there are those who criticize your presentation there, saying that you actually covered up the spike or a good number of drug-related killings under the new administration. That's the first question. That's number two. Since the government, it seems, the administration is not open to Calamard as the one to investigate the incidents here, are you open if it would be someone else, also from the Human Rights Council?
Okay. For first question, I'm willing to resign, to be jailed, to be exiled if mali yung present ko, or at the very least if I intentionally misled anyone. Lahat ng present ko is based on fact, based on actual numbers, no? So remember, dati pa sinasabi na maraming extrajudicial killings. Noong 2012 pa lang, pinuna na ng the same countries na pumuna sa atin, pinuna nila ang Aquino government for extrajudicial killings. And to be fair kay President Aquino, that included the Arroyo, the last years of the Arroyo government, including media killings, cause-oriented groups. No? Anong ginawa ni President Aquino at ni Secretary De Lima na now senator? Nagpasa ng Administrative Order 35 na ang ginawa nila, that was the middle of 2012. So sabi nila, pag hindi cause-oriented, hindi media, no, hindi religious group, hindi extrajudicial killing. Pero pagdating ni President Duterte, suddenly lahat ng patay, tignan nyo yung actual reports. No? I don't wanna name we had one of the editors of one of the .nets in the Senate, and tinanong namin directly, why are you using this term? Why are you using these numbers? Sabi nila, sa bibig ng presidente ng gagaling, napapatayin, etc. No? But the numbers they were using was not based on yung dating definition. So ang sinasabi ko lang naman, kung gagamitin nyo yung lumang definition, so tanggapin natin na before Duterte came, there was 11 to 16,000 every year, or 77,000 in the last 6 years. May nakita na naman ako article kanina, binaba ko daw numbers ko from 77 to 16. Hindi po. Sabi ko, 11 to 16 every year for the last 6 years. Pag inad mo yung last 6 years, 70 to 77,000 yan. Depende if you start on 2009 or 2010. No? So, the numbers we've given, none of them was fuzzy math or creative math. None of them were plucked out. Ito official government statistics, and we're willing to deal with it. Let me reverse the question. So you mean to say dati 11 to 16,000 ang patay every year? Pagdating ni Duterte, nawala yung 11 to 16,000 na patay, and yung patay ngayon na 9,000, lahat yon ay dahil sa droga? Saan yung patayan for the last 5-10 years na it's always 11 to 16,000. So, we have a problem with numbers now. So, kung 12,000 ang patay ngayon, what we're saying is bilang accurately to the last one, yung because of presumed legitimate operation. Yung outside of that, no, are killings that are homicides. So like ang US, the US criticized us and said, EJ case, ilan ba ang patay sa US every year dahil sa crime? Are EJ case din ba yan? Kasi kung EJ case yon, wala silang karapatan na pintasan tayo dahil times 5 or times more than 5 ang dami ng EJ case sa kanila. But sasabihin nila, hindi, yung sa amin is because of crime or because of police operations. So that's what I'm saying, no? Having said that, let me just point this out, Christian, no? I told the UN, don't take our word for it.
So ang sinasabi
But wag niyo naman rin i-take yung word ng kritiko na as if yun ay zero. Padala kayo ng independent team. Ang problema yung team na gustong ipadala nung una, hindi pa pumupunta dito, may judgment na. Si Dr. Calamard, meron na siyang nasa utak niya kung ano nangyayari dito, against na siya. Tingin na niya killings to, tingin niya. And by the way, no, hindi expertise ni Dr. Calamard ang extrajudicial killings, forced disappearance, abductions, no. Nagulat ako nung sinabi nung mission natin yun that's not what she was teaching in Colombia, and that's not what her focus was on. It was on government accountability, communications, etc. No? And lalong hindi siya expert sa droga. So how can you have someone who will come here and evaluate na meron na siyang conclusion, tapos meron na siyang findings na ang droga hindi nakakasama? Samantalang ang WHO at saka yung UN meron ng no. So to clarify, no, it is our job to give an accurate report. That's what we give it. Will they believe it? It's up to them. Will they not believe it? But we gave our side. And then we opened it up to investigation. So since it's an official record, I'll give you another example, no, yung sa SONA. Gulat na gulat yung mga taga-Europe, kaya galit yung ibang taga-CHR at ibang nagkri-criticize sa atin kasi nakita yung kabilang side eh. Kasi ang pinapakita lang sa Europe, yung tinatawag ni Presidente na hindi ganun ka tatala sa mga European or etong mga human rights ganito or bahala kayo sa buhay nyo, di ba? In other words. So when they saw the President talking presidential, they saw the President saying no abuse, telling the police you're worse than criminality, it gave them another side eh. Di ba? That's why may nag-complain nga eh, bakit pinayagan yung video ba't nagpaalam tayo?
Dun sa related to your upcoming post as the Foreign Secretary. First, there's this issue being raised against politicians like you, the non-career. Parang they see this as more of a political accommodation, that this position should be better given to a career officer or diplomat.
I haven't heard that kasi usually yung criticism na yan ay sa mga post sa ambassador. Kasi since after EDSA revolution, sino ba ang career na DFA? It's always, di ba, it was Doy Laurel, Senator Romulo, Gingona, and ano. So, the criticism usually is since we have a professional, a very professional foreign service group, wag dagdagan ng politicians or ng political appointees sa mga post, no, meaning as ambassadors and others, no. But as for the DFA chief, of course I'm with the DFA na one day dapat magkaroon ng from the ranks, di ba? But it's been more usual than unusual in the past decades that it's a political appointee, no.
Sir, last there are questions regarding what the foreign policy of the Philippines actually is under the Duterte administration. Some are saying that there has to be further clarification. Once you assume office, do you think how would you clarify or define the foreign policy under the president, and would you advocate for greater balance yung while we're moving toward China and other allies, hindi naman ganun kasakit din yung sinasabi from the traditional Western allies?
You know, let me dissect that. First of all, are we willing to clarify? Yes. Trabaho namin sa gobyerno maging transparent at trabaho natin na maintindihan ng lahat ang mga policies ng gobyerno, including foreign policy. Having said that, the Constitution itself provides for an independent foreign policy. Gusto ko lang i-distinguish yung policy itself at strategy. Minsan kasi, alam na naman nung iba yung policy, pero yung strategy ang gustong questionin o gusto pag-usapan. Saan ka naman makakita na nasa gitna ka ng struggle, ng laban, ipapakita mo yung strategy sa buong mundo, no? Having said that, I would like to institutionalize more briefings na off the record to the media, to the Senate, to the House, and to other interested groups, including think tanks, so that they will know the information that we know. Because sometimes kulang ng impormasyon. But when we do those briefings, it's with the understanding that there are things that are not for broadcast. Because it's, halimbawa, ano yan di ba, yung negotiations. Alam ko na willing magbenta yung biyanang ko ng lupa at 1 million. Pero ang sinasabi sa iyo, 2 million. Pag in-announce ko na alam mo, papayag yan sa 1 million. Ikaw ba, tatawad ka ng 1.5 million? No, marami sa diplomacy, di ba, ay negotiations No, give and take yan. May kailangan sila, may kailangan tayo. So there's a lot of things about diplomacy that you cannot use the microphone. That's why I'm here, because it's my obligation, but after this, after my saying thank you confirmation, you'll hear more from the spokesman and much less from me, because nga hindi tayo gagamit ng microphone diplomacy.
Sir, last, do you think the Philippines under President Duterte is losing leverage with China over the dispute in the South China Sea because of our too much engagement in terms of economic benefits to the detriment of our strategy in the South China
I'll be very honest with you. I think yung questions ka rin separate mali So pag mali yung question, mali yung sagot, no? The question is, ano ba goal natin? And are we meeting the goals with the President's strategy? Ano ba goal ni President Arroyo, President Ramos, President Era, President Aquino? Di ba, number 1, hindi mag-move forward ang China. Di ba? O, number 2, yung hindi ma-damage yung ating claim. And then number 3, yung mga hawak na natin na features mas strengthen. But there's a fourth na nakakalimutan outside the West Philippine Sea, which is the overall relationship with countries for the rest of the country, including economic diplomacy. So in the 60s, 70s, malaki problema natin sa Malaysia because of Sabah. But we found a way to be friends and brothers and sisters to Malaysia despite that, and now they're even helping us with the peace talks. No? So if you ask me, ano objectives ng Presidente, very clear that our claims, both territorial and economic, and our sovereignty rights, our sovereign rights, our economic entitlements, not only to claim but to eventually get it. No? So yes, we're meeting the objectives, and the President is moving a giant step forward. Ang problema, may mindsets. And these mindsets are based on, in any change, there are winners and losers. So, syempre, in the geopolitics, there are some countries who are saying, ba't biglang lumipat? But look at Japan. Japan had a heart-to-heart talk with us, and Prime Minister Abe and President Duterte are very good friends, are in touch with each other, and now Japan is bridging with the US, and we're bridging with China. So there's a way. I mean, look at US. No? Ang Japan at saka South Korea, always perennial yan, may problema. Pero constantly, pareho nilang kakampi ang US. So why can't we be the same, no? Why can't we be in between 2 or 3 or 4 world powers na may problema sa isa't isa, pero tayo okay tayo sa kanila, no? Kasi makikita natin kung nagfe-fail yung policy ni Presidente if situation is getting worse for us. No? But right now, itong May, we will start talking to China bilaterally about the claims of both countries. Right. And the COC, yung conduct on the seas, diba? The code of conduct, for a decade it's been stalled. But now to the leadership of the President sa ASEAN, through the cooperation of our ASEAN brothers and the member states with China, if we get that passed, 'Di ba? Napakalaking ano niyan, napakalaking ano. So what I'm saying is that iba kasi yung nagagamit na pamantayan eh. So last administration, gaano katindi statement natin, ngayon hindi yun yung ating objective eh. Because we already got the award, it's there na eh. So how do we meet our objectives is the focus of the Duterte administration.
Incoming Secretary. Sir, speaking of, while at it po sa speaking of the COC, I just want to know your yung magiging sagot nyo rito. What do you think should be included in the framework? Should it be legally binding? Do you think China will agree for the code to be legally binding? And how important is it to include the elements of the arbitration ruling in the COC?
Again, pangungunahan ko lang, no, that in discussing some of that, we will be letting our strategy go, no. But let me say this, no. Kung meron kang peace and stability sa region, everyone nakikinabang. Kikinabang Japan, nakikinabang China, nakikinabang US, Canada, tayo, no. Pag walang peace and stability, ibig sabihin yung tension sa West Philippine Sea ay magulo. Masyado, no? May ilan countries, Northern American countries at Europe nakikinabang. Why? Because ASEAN and ASEAN can't get their acts together. So, not na gusto nila magkagulo tayo, but, di ba, it's just like sa Middle East, eh. Kung magkaroon ng peace sa Middle East, there's such a powerful economic, technological, etc. bloc, no? Pero because of the problems with peace, as a region, hindi sila and because may mga rivals, no. So yung COC is there, or yung code of conduct, para all of us can work together with each other. You know, one thing that it's not being emphasized is that our claims are not only against China. May claim din tayo against Vietnam, Malaysia, against Taiwan, no, which under our policy may one China rule tayo, no, one China policy. But ang point ko, kung aawayin natin lahat ng neighbors natin na meron tayong dispute, no, tayo lang maiiwanan sa buong region eh. So let me not go into the details, 'di ba? How we'll get there, what we'll do there, ganyan. But let me tell you this, no. Walang masasayang sa past efforts. Sa lahat ng past efforts, from President Marcos and even before to President Aquinos, wala tayong sasayangin. So, ibig sabihin, bawat bala na binigay sa atin na pabor sa Pilipinas, nandyan yan. Sabi nga lang ni Presidente, give him the option kung kailan niya ilalabas, kailan niya gagamitin. And we will follow the President.
Apo. Incoming SFA, laruin ko lang po yung, meron kasi yung nabanggit din yung DFA before, and yung magkakaroon po ng bilateral talks between the Philippines and China in May to specifically discuss the claims. Yes. Can you elaborate and clarify that, sir?
Okay, let me give you historical background, no. May problema din ang China at saka Japan sa East China Sea, sa kabila, okay. And then ang nangyari nung nagkaroon ng UNCLOS, ang sinasabi ng China, sandali lang, may continental shelf din kami. So, halos umabot sa Japan yung claim. Sabi naman ng Japan, hindi. Under the UNCLOS, yung atin EEZ, kung nag-overlap, hahatiin, gitna tayo. No? But ano nangyari? Bakit lumayo ang Japan at China sarili? Because of several issues, the war, no? World War II, yung mga nangyari between Japan, China, yung islands, no, yung Senkaku Islands kung tawagin ng Japan, tapos nagkaroon ng time kasi na nagkaroon ng food poisoning na yung pagkain ng processed in China. What am I saying? It reached a point na nahirapan yung leaders ng two countries na mag-usap at mag-cooperate because yung local nila galit at each other. So the President wants to avoid na dumating ang time na sa init ng ulo ng Chinese sa Filipino, init ng ulo ng Pilipino sa Chinese, init ng ulo ng Malaysian sa ganito, ng Vietnamese sa ganito, hindi tayo pwede mag-usap-usap, no? So, part of the agreed upon yung wisdom, no, in the past was when Chairman Deng Xiaoping told the Japanese Prime Minister, you know, if our generation is not that smart or not that brilliant enough, to solve the dispute now, why don't we improve our relationship sa iba and then go back to that, maybe the next generation? And that happened. Tinulungan ng Japan ang China nag-engage, yumaman ang China. No? So when President Cory Aquino visited China during her term, yun din ang sinabi sa kanya ni President Deng. So now, we're next generation, so we have to see. If we're wise enough to find a solution, to find a framework to work together or to win our claim, why not? But if we're not wise enough, how do we manage it? Para hindi naman maapektuhan yung fisheries, yung tourism, yung investments, and security. Let me end with last example. No? Sinasabi po ng ibang Western countries, freedom of navigation kasi masyadong valuable yung area na yan at masyadong malaki, no? Trillions of dollars ang dumadaan dyan. So hindi pwedeng makontrol ng China at masara because of world commerce. But China naman is saying, ba't namin isasara? Pag sinara namin yan, in 3 to 4 months, tumba ang aming ekonomiya. Because yung coastal states nila, di ba, nandun. So sabi ng isa, bakit minimilitarize? Well, that's the same thing that happened to the US when the US put missiles in Turkey at umangal yung USSR, and then USSR put missiles in Cuba. So the Philippines is in a strategic role now to talk to Japan, Australia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, Taiwan, etc. To talk to all of them na, wag tayo mag-militarize. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, isa lang nagmi-militarize . Diba? So, for example, under our VFA, are there nuclear submarines in Philippine waters? Are there nuclear submarines in the waters of Taiwan? Kung meron, do you blame China kung meron sila? I'm not saying tama. I'm just saying it's much, much more complicated. That's why I wasn't saying mali ang tanong nyo. I'm saying as a people, dahil dati one-dimensional yung problema, Philippines versus China, ang tanong parate, iisa. But actually, ang ginawa ni President Duterte, binuksan yung isip natin na ang complicated pala nito. And we have to dissect at isa-isa. No? But not a single, like Benham Rice, no? Through President Duterte's diplomacy and his strategy, we got assurances by everyone that walang magkle-claim, walang makikialam, and it's safe. So sinabihan nga tayo, put your Navy and military elsewhere. No, because you're safe there. And that's important. Kung hindi, will be spread so thin. No?
Apo. Sorry, last na lang for me. So not to belabor the point yung sa strategy, sa May po ba, may pag-asa na ma-mention po ng Pilipinas. Kayo po, sir, kami bilang incoming DFA Secretary, yung tungkol sa arbitration ruling. Can that be a proper venue, or is that a proper venue at the right time?
I don't know exactly. But what we're assuring the people is, parang ganito yun, no? If I'm saying na yung lupa, kung nasan yung bahay ni Spokes, di ba, ay akin, and I have a title, no? Ito yung titulo. Okay, ito evidence ko. Pero meron din akong court order na akin din to. So kung sasabihin ni Spokes, sige,